Hey Georgia, it was so great to see you today too. How was your vacation? Oh my gosh, that's so great to hear. I am glad you guys had so much fun. Um, so one thing I wanted to talk about today is I did see that you signed your consent form for RhoGAM, and I just wanted to check in with you and make sure that there wasn't any other information you were needing or anything that was confusing for you or that you had any other concerns or questions that you wanted to talk about after reading that information. Georgia, I just want to say I really appreciate you sharing with me your Christian Scientist beliefs and how that impacts you and your decision to decline RhoGAM. And I really appreciate you teaching me, more about what's important to you and giving me the opportunity to learn more about you. I do want to let you know that I fully respect and support your choice to decline. With that said, I just want to know if it was okay if I kind of recap some of the risks just to make sure that you understand the risks that do come with declining RhoGAM. Thank you so much. And at any time you have a question, feel free to stop me and I can clarify anything. I just wanted to restate that, during pregnancy, the risk is much lower than the risk of being sensitized at the time of birth. In the first trimester with a miscarriage, the risk is about 2%. And in the third trimester, when RhoGAM is usually given at that 28-week visit, um, without receiving the RhoGAM, the risk is about 2% in pregnancy compared to if you receive the injection, it's 0.2% risk of sensitization. Now, around the time of birth, that's the highest risk. About 1 in 5 people who don't receive the injection would become sensitized. And receiving the RhoGAM reduces that by about 80 to 90%. Again, if sensitization does occur, this is something that can't be undone and it can impact your ability to carry a pregnancy and it can cause you to have repeated miscarriages as well as it can impact future pregnancies and the baby can have fetal anemia like really severe jaundice and actually unfortunately can even cause fetal death. So I know that's a lot of information to hear and especially like understanding those risks and also acting on what's important to you. But I also think that there's some things we can do together to kind of evaluate if that risk is there. We can check your partner's blood type. If their blood type is also negative like yours, then there wouldn't be a risk of sensitization to you. And that might, help you feel more comfortable knowing that you're not faced with those risks. If your partner is Rh positive, we can do NIPT testing and see what baby's Rh status is. If baby is also negative, then that's not going to be a risk for sensitization as well. Um, and then also when baby's born, we'll take a sample of cord blood and see what baby's Rh status is as well. I also think, with you declining, it might be a good idea to just take a blood sample like once a month throughout your care. And what we can do is we can send that into the lab and we can check that for any antibodies. That way, if something does come up, we can collaborate with maternal fetal medicine and keep a better eye on baby and just to make sure that baby's health is doing really well if there was sensitization to occur. So this isn't a decision you have to make today, and I really do want you to go home and think about it and talk about it with your partner. Please reach out to me if you have any other questions, and then we'll talk again about this at your next appointment.